Hey there, I'm Jen Rice, and good morning from Texas. So you couldn't tell by the flag behind me though, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about consistency because this was a topic that came up last night. We are at a virtual convention here in Texas on Lake Travis, which is gorgeous, by the way. I actually tried to do the video out there for you, but there's like very little signal. So hopefully my Texas flag does us justice here, but just a gorgeous lakefront home. This area is so beautiful. The weather has been incredible. And the lines have been really short because we're not at convention. We're actually doing it virtually with a group of other women, business owners from all over the country, which is really, really awesome. And I wanted to talk about consistency because we had everyone do an exercise where on a piece of paper, people wrote the number one thing that they were struggling with in their business. And we went through the papers individually, and one thing that kept coming up was consistency. And I know personally I've struggled with this. Not just consistency in my business, but consistency in a workout routine, consistency in things I really want to get better at, whether that's, drawing or, paddleboarding or all of that kind of thing. And really what it takes is that consistent effort that we put out there. Like, we can't be good at anything if we're not being consistent, right? So before I get to the number one tip that I have, I think another couple of tips are worth mentioning. So the first thing, if you want to become more consistent, is to have a morning routine. A lot of us have talked about The Miracle Morning. It's a great book if you want to get that one. It talks about establishing a morning routine to have your mindset in a certain place so that the day runs the way you want it to run instead of the day running you, right? So that's one thing. And then the second thing that I think is really important is not beating yourself up all the time for not being consistent, right? So we have to kind of let go of all those things that haven't been working for us and try to embrace the things that are working. And then, of course, establish new patterns. So, I think it's really important when we're looking at our consistency to think of those two things. But the number one reason that a lot of us aren't consistent is because we don't do things when we don't feel like it. And so any of us know that have done any kind of whether it's a business, you're training for a marathon, you're learning a new career, you have to show up even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't really want to, even when you'd rather be doing something else. You have to do the work even when you don't feel like it, right? So that's my number one tip. And before I go today, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little peek at this area that I'm at. Thanks. I see you guys jumping on. So let me see if I can turn this around here. Yeah, so we are on Lake Travis, and the house is really awesome. It's if anybody's ever looking for a rental on the lake, it sleeps 16, and it's really nice. They have a boat ramp. We've got this infinity pool. Really, really cool. The water is glassy this morning. It was earlier. It looks like a little wind's picking up. We had kayakers and paddle boards, and if you guys like boating, seems like there are a lot of places to rent boats. But one really cool thing that happens every night here are the deer. They come out, and it's just, I don't know, it's like a petting zoo. I mean, we're not petting them and feeding them, but they are so close, so it's obvious that they are not scared of people. And it's just been a really great trip. Totally different from, I've gone to our last 3 company conventions, Atlanta, Austin, and then Las Vegas. And then they repeated Las Vegas this year, and we just decided, well, what the heck, we'll come here and see what it's like to do it virtually. As things grow, it's important to know, what it is like to tune in virtually, because we do have people from 3 countries, right? So not everyone can attend in person. And I know my partner, Cece, I'm going to give her a quick shout out because she's been overseas in Lafayette for almost 3 years, and she's been doing the convention this way since she started. So I can at least now relate to, you know, how she's been viewing it, and I think it's just a great thing for us to try. Now, whether or not I do it again next year, I'm not really sure, but until then, I'm going to work on being super consistent every day so that I can form better habits in order to get the things done that I'd like to do. So I really appreciate you guys. If you have, oh, hey, Heather, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, isn't it? It's beautiful here. It's really nice. We're having a great time, and you know, it's coming to a close. It goes by so fast. I hope you're loving Vegas. You've gotten the royal treatment there, right? Miss seeing your face though, but maybe you'll do a video later, and then I can see you that way, right? Okay, so if you guys have certain tips that keep you consistent, I'd love for you to jot them down in the comments. I think that can help other people when we share the things that work for us. Because like I said, I think the number one reason we don't obtain the things that we want or get to the goals we're trying to get to, and that can be, like I said, physical fitness, business, life, you know, in your career, it's because we're not consistent, right? So consistency really does win the race. And I'd love any tips you guys have if you want to jot them in the comments section. If you'd like to connect with me personally, please reach out to me by private message. Just stinking do it every day. Yeah, that's why you're my mentor, right? That was the number one tip today. Let's do it even when you feel like you'd rather do just about anything else. I also have a website that is Jen Rice International. If you want to pop over there and check it out, I would love to include you on any of my new materials coming out. And I hope you guys have a great, great day. Take care.